Shabam! So, what's more fun than art supplies? Surprise art supplies! Let's go on an art adventure. G'day art adventurers, it's Christopher here, and I have got my second ever Sketchbox to unopen with you here. If you turn over, you can see the cool art from @artist. Cool username on Instagram, and a cool piece of art. But I am excited to dive into this box, so let's open her up and see what we've got for the January box, even though it's still December. And I've just gone and made it harder to open. Okay. First thing is something I have wanted to try for ages, but they were super expensive, and so I never did. Awesome, the Graphik pigment line marker. I'm just gonna grab everything out, and then we can start. Oh man, so many goodies. Okay, there's too many things to grab out, so I'm gonna put this box aside and grab one by one. Alright, so we've got the Derwent Graphik line markers here, and they come in such a cool case. You've got to be into design stuff like this. And oh wow, we're getting 3 of them, a 0.1, a 0.3, and a 0.5. I'm kind of, in some ways, getting a little bit overburdened with pens, but still, I really wanted to try these pens, and they have a really cool kind of light fast pigment ink. So, wow, I'm super keen to try those out. Let's move on to a Pentel mechanical pencil. You know, I have a few mechanical pencils, and I was spoiled that I lived in Japan and I could get really great ones there. So I'm not so excited by that, but it's always nice to have a spare pencil around. Of course, my green curse, I don't know if this is actually green or not, but it's a green body. It's called the Pilot Razor Point. I'm pretty sure it's green. Let's see. Yep. gotta have my green curse happening. So I don't know if it'll focus well on the nib there, but it's a very fine point green tipped nib. And if you're going to get a pen, it's interesting to get something in a different color. I quite like the design of this. Okay, we've got... Oh, I've wanted one of these for ages too, and then just never got around to getting one. One of these triangle rulers that... Oh, wow, and it's Sketchbox branded. That allow you to measure, and I guess this is in inches, and this would be my first ever ruler with inches on it. So that's cool. Yeah, nice one. Okay, just lots and lots of pens it looks like this time. Let's get out 2 of them. Okay, so we've got a Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica. I've tried things like this when I was in Japan as well. Let me get a piece of paper to doodle on for some of these. Okay. That's going to be a bit easier. So I can try out this Pentel green marker, or green pen. What's it called again? The Pilot Razor Point. And then the Hybrid Technica from Pentel. Quite a fine point. Just feels like a ballpoint, a fine ballpoint pen to me. And I'm pretty sure I've tried ones like that before. This one's looking a little bit more interesting. A ThinLine. Tip of brush made ThinLine. I gotta love Jalish, or Japanese English. Okay. And, oops, bumped the camera. Nice brush nib to it. And let's see it. Oh, okay, wow, it's a soft grey. That'll be really cool for doing shadow work, actually. Yeah, I'm quite into that pen. Wow, you can get really thin lines too. Okay, that's cool. Then we have Mono Zero Eraser. I already own 2 of them. It's always good to have a backup of these though. I use them so much, like crazy amounts. The Sketchbox sticker. Oh, looks like another Pilot Razor Fine Point. I'm guessing this one is blue. It is. And looks like this box is all about pens. So not the most exciting of topics for me, but there's some cool looking ones in there. And yeah, that's it. So I figured that the Derwent graphics would be the bulk. These guys would be the bulk of the cost, because every time I've looked at them, they look pretty expensive. And here is the lovely piece of art for January. It's cool. It's got a really nice organic vibe to it. And it feels kind of like a seashell exploding into floral patterns for me, but I'm thinking it's an abstract form. We can see that this is from Sheila Darcy at Sketch Poetic. And I don't know if that... And she is from Venice. And then we have our items. So let's go through them. So yeah, the big cost is from the Derwent Graphics line markers. Not quite sure how to remove this easily. I'm guessing it's bonded on. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing you just have to cut it. Okay, so then the travel pack that they come in, which is quite cute, looks like this. And it's $11.49 retail. This month is all about technical drawing, and these pens are similar to the Graphik pencils in that they create smooth, free-flowing lines. We have the custom Alumicolor 6-inch hollow scale, retail price of $7.95 to get a special edition Sketchbox ruler. Does have a good weight and feel to it. And then we have the Pentel Orenz 0.2mm pencil, $8.95 star favorite. Akashiya ThinLine brush pen, bluish black. I feel like it was very grey. Where is my bluish black? To me it feels very just greyish. This is retail price of $5. And then we have the Tombow Mono Zero Eraser round, retail price $4.49. Then the green and blue Pilot Razor points, each of them is $1.79 each. And finally, the Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica pen, 0.3mm, retail price $2.99, star favorite. All right, so these are the things for the January box. Probably not my most exciting, although I have been super keen to try out these pens, so for me the box is still worth it, and I love a good ruler. And actually it looks like I'm gonna really start to love this Akashiya ThinLine pen as well. So let's see what we can make with these bad boys. Let's go on an art adventure. Beginning with the Pentel Orenz 0.2mm, I immediately find that it is not unbreakable just by clicking on the button to release more lead. And I actually found that it was very difficult to use it. It's meant to be completely unbreakable, and then you only click once to use, and I had to click it a bunch of times. And when you're using it, you can't see where the lead is, which kind of makes it frustrating and difficult. You're always wondering, is there more lead coming out or is there not? And maybe over time I'll get used to it. I'm also probably more of a fan of a 0.5mm lead, but I actually do like that they gave us a different thickness. I just, not really that excited to get pens and pencils. And after the excitement of the box opening wore off, I realized that, I just had gotten a bunch of pens. And it made it difficult to decide what to do with it. And eventually I decided to make a New Year's card. New Year's is really big in Japan where I used to live. And I've just written there, Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu, which means Happy New Year. And in fact, that's way bigger than Christmas. Christmas isn't really important at all in Japan, but New Year's is huge. And the symbols that are often used follow the Chinese zodiac for each new year. So 2019 is the year of the pig. So I've decided to draw a Chinese zodiac New Year's card with some Japanese writing and the Chinese New Year pig shown there. And he or she is having a grand old time rolling around in the mud. But I still found this was quite difficult to create with because I just had a bunch of pens. The Derwent Graphik line markers, they're nice, and it's nice that they're a grey graphite sort of color to give some difference, and they're waterproof, so I'm going to be using those a lot with my watercolor work, I'm sure. But the other pens, you know what, I'm really not going to probably use them so much like these Pilot Razor pens. They're just not that interesting to me. And I found it difficult to create an interesting piece of art with them. I'm subscribing to an art box, and so these are all my opinions, but I'm not really looking for stationery items, and maybe that's also because I was very spoilt by living in Japan, and stationery is so abundant in Japan, and I bought lots of cool stationery items when I lived there. But now I'm hoping to get a range of interesting art supplies. And in fact, soon after opening this box, I went and cancelled my subscription to Sketchbox. So they've ended up losing a customer over this one. I'm still subscribed for the next month, but that's going to be the last one for me. And then I've switched back to Palettefull Packs, which I have loved and adored. I just wanted to try something new and to make sure that I wasn't, being biased in my love for Palettefull Packs. But I really think this box has shown me that I'm more of a Palettefull Packs kind of artist. And I really did appreciate the December box for Sketchbox, and it was amazing with those watercolor supplies. And, I do understand that pen drawings and any really material can be used as a piece of art, but I just find that these are more stationary items. And I found it difficult to use them all well, so you can see I've ended up going in with a white pen there to give some definition, and I switched back to the Pentel brush pen from the last box, the Sketchbox December, to give some thicker line weight, because the line weights of all of those pens was really quite small or narrow, except for the 0.5 Derwent Graphics, but it was a light grey and I wanted something more bold. And so I'm just finishing off this card, and I've got to say, I was really quite disappointed with this box. I'm hoping that it's still an interesting video for everyone to watch, and that you get something out of watching it, if only to decide that Sketchbox maybe isn't for you, or maybe you really love stationary items, so now you're going to sign up for Sketchbox. It's all personal taste. This just isn't my personal taste. So I've decided to cancel my subscription to Sketchbox because of this box. Anyway, you can see my little card here. It's on a Japanese paper and a Japanese card, by the way, so there's little cool silver threads in it. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.